So paint the picture of what Austin was like in 2010 with the food truck scene. Like, why was this a good move?
So I remember going to Torchy's on South First Street. They had a trailer there, and I remember being so busy, right? So I set up a meeting with the owner, and I said, "Hey, would you mind if I have a food truck?"
Which owner was that? Mike Ripka or
no, Mike.
Jeb,
No, it wasn't.
Jeb?
No, it was Bob, and he's not there anymore.
Oh, okay.
Mike's a great guy, by the
Nice.
way. I reach out to him for advice and things like that.
He's on my hit list for sure.
I would recommend him.
Yeah.
He's a great.
Nice.
So I reached out to them and I said, I'm doing like Korean barbecue tacos. I mean, they obviously sell tacos, right? And can I park my truck next to you? And he said, no, I don't think that's a good idea. But I knew that Austin embraced this.
Yeah.
Austin loved just quirky, small business, great tasting food. And it didn't matter if it was fancy. Like, if it was good, if the price point was there, people were going to come.
Yeah.
And I knew that Austin people were like that.
I wonder if that would have been a bad. I honestly think it would have been a good. You see it now all over the place with food trucks. They park on top of each other. Like,
right,
and
they
I think
do.
That gives the customers like options, but like more people can go.
That's right.
And find something for them. It might have been interesting to see how that would have worked.
But it wasn't like that in 2010.
It's true. It's true. You might have been way ahead of the curve though.
I think we were a little bit. Yeah.
But I think what I love about that story is just the willingness to go approach people. And I think sometimes people are so afraid to go approach successful businesses and ask for help or ask for recommendations or ask anything. But you went, not only did you ask about the business, you asked if you could park next to him,
That's right.
But I think that is so powerful. It's a great skill to have, that the willingness to approach people and to talk.
Yeah.
And you'd be so surprised
That's
how
right.
willing people are to help.
Because all you're going to get is no.
Yeah, it's the worst case scenario.
Not at the moment, right?
Yeah.
But it could be, I don't know. And you're building relationship through that process.
Exactly.
As long as you're respectful.
Yeah, and it's lonely at the top. So you want those people
understand.
In your life.
That's
exactly.
right. Yes.
So powerful. So take us to the point where you actually opened. Like what lessons did you learn the first few? And I'm gonna put this little caveat in there. I personally would not recommend opening a food truck in today's market.
It's difficult. But you can do it.
You can do it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely an option, but it's not like it was. And I think
Absolutely.
people see what it was like and they anticipate it being like that, and it's not like that.
Yeah, I can share with you why, right?
Yeah,
like
please.
even the real estate.
Yeah.
So when I first started, I parked my food truck next to Dolby Mall, and this was February 1st, probably really cold. It was cold. So nobody was commuting outside.
Yeah.
And the campus was kind of empty. And my first day of sale was $7.
Okay.
And the next day was 14 because
Nice, you doubled it.
Yeah, but that person brought a friend, so it became 14. But it was not a good location for us until we got to downtown late nights. And back then in 2010 to about 2014, 15, I was paying $500 a month for a lot.
Wow, can't do that today.
You can't do that today in Austin. And so I realized that, there were a lot of empty lots back then. Mm-hmm. So now they're high rises hotels here in Austin. But so I was able to just capture these spots for $500. For me, that was an occupancy cost of running a food truck business. So I would rent, spots for $500 a month. My occupancy rate cost would be $1,500. I calculated that into it, and then I just needed to generate sales from those locations.
Yeah.
And I was breaking even on the first night. Like I would go to Fifth and Colorado, and I would do $2,000, $3,000 night on a Thursday, Saturday night. So I already got that paid for. But I was the only truck at that lot. Later on, a landlord saw that was happening. They were opportunistic.
Yeah.
They raised the rent, and then they put the truck next to mine. So what you're saying about, the climate of our business has definitely changed, because you're making less money from the lot, and they're charging you more competition. So I would say that's difficult today.
For sure. And So, I mean, but the thing that made it so appealing in the past was that it was such a low barrier of entry, right?
Right.
And it was so affordable.
That's
and if
right.
you couldn't afford a brick and mortar, like you could afford $500 a month.
Yeah.
It's just getting so, it's not the same anymore. The benefits aren't quite there. What advice you'd have for somebody who's looking to start a food truck today, even though, because the market's so much different than it was then?
Yeah.
What do you got?
Man, location's always the key. Find a great location. Willing to learn. It just continues to be, you have a concept in your mind, and I see this often. Some entrepreneurs are so adamant about, this is what I'm going to do and nobody's going to stop me. And I think that's a great mindset to have, but also asking yourself, is it relevant that these people are asking me questions about, are there my blind spots? Am I covering some of my blind spots? And asking yourself as an entrepreneur to say, what are my blind spots?
Yeah.
And can somebody help me cover those blind spots? I think it's going to be really helpful in the entrepreneurial journey of a food truck.
So what's the best advice you have for finding those blind spots? Where do we find those blind spots? Do we just go talk to people? Like, what do we do?
Yeah, you could ask a friend.
Okay.
You could ask Eric. Your email's out there, right?
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, I'm gonna get hit hard now. No, but I hear what you're saying. You're saying blind spots, which is what am I not seeing, right?
Yeah.
And I also feel like it could be like, what are my weaknesses? Like,
That's right.
Like, what am I good at? What am I not good at?
That's right.
And who do I need to surround myself with who's strong where I'm weak? Things like that. Or tools.
Right.
And today there's tools out there.
That's right.
Like if your thing's not HR, if you suck at HR, hire Gusto, one of my sponsors. It's a great service too. Like that's what they do. It's like there's so many plug and play things in the world today.
Yes.
So some of the big things I pulled up to this point is that you just started, right?
Yeah.
And you had that mentality of just start and go. You weren't afraid to go talk to people, right?
Yeah.
The times have changed a little bit. Is there anything else we're missing regarding food trucks that are important that our listeners should know?
I feel like social media was a really big thing.
Yeah.
When I started Twitter, the local bloggers really helped us out. Even check-ins like Foursquare, those are powerful. Instagram just came into the scene later on. Yeah. But I feel like those are much more impactful. And still continues to be, but I think the landscape has changed.
Yeah, it was 2007 again. Like that's Twitter was like the jam back then.
That's right.
What about now? What do you see having the biggest impact on your business now?
Well, it's all those things that we have to make an investment on. Things like loyalty programs. Like now, larger businesses have them. And smaller businesses like mine have to be creative in creating a loyalty program where customers are understanding. Like it's still easy to use. So navigating that portion is pretty challenging.